Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beers and Boost. I'm Barry.
I'm
I'm
Nathan.
Barry. I guess I'm Zach this week? Or
I'm so
no.
sorry.
Better yet, I'm Sam.
Oh, Sam Matt.
Hey, sit back.
Are we leaving this in?
Sure, fuck it. It's like I have no concept of time, so I have no idea what's even going on. Like Tuesdays feel like Fridays, 9 a.m. feels like midnight. I got no idea what's going on in my life.
Hmm,
So
As someone that styles himself as quite a chef, having no concept of time is a big issue.
it is.
my internal clock, as far as like how long 15 minutes are, is pretty good. But mm,
What time of
But
day
also the
is?
herb. Hmm?
heard both of you at the same time. What?
The herb time.
Ah.
Ah, okay.
Anyway, jokes aside, time to get into some seriousness with some Total Recall.
Yes, we've got a few recalls this week. Hyundai is recalling their 2020 Sonatas and Nexo SUVs that are equipped with the remote start parking assist. Um, don't have an official count of how many, but the recall will start June 4th, maybe, hopefully. The issue is that the failsafe feature may not actually stop the car as it's supposed to, leaving the car in motion. So you're trying to pull up a little bit into your parking spot, and it just kind of just gonna keep
It's
going.
away on you.
Probably don't want that to happen. Just slowly drive through the restaurant in front of you.
Yeah, that's one of those they had the Boston accent Super Bowl commercials. Like you didn't park that. You didn't. You didn't park it.
He's got the park assist.
Not working. Cars are rolling away.
Yeah, we had that last week. Was it Ford that had the issue with the transmission cable, or was that Jeep?
Uh, that was FCA, but I'm not sure that was last week's recall for FCA. FCA did have an. I can pull up last week's episode, but
We had one last week. I forget who it was. But speaking of
uh,
FCA, they're back. Shocker.
when are
Recalling.
they not in Total Recall? Anyone?
I
Bueller.
can't remember.
Bueller?
I
Yeah.
can't. It's FCA, brakes, fire, wiring harnesses. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the rotation. But they're back, recalling even more Ram trucks and Jeeps, specifically 425,000 of the 2019 and 2020 1500s and Compassi.
Why?
Uh, Compasses. That's actually a real word.
But we're not talking about an actual compass. We're talking about a car, so it's kind of a different word, right?
But also the same word. Let's move on.
Compasses. For a faulty nut on the windshield wiper that may make your wipers defective. So get them nuts changed out.
No one likes a faulty nut.
It does have two, one for each. You can get away with one.
No. No, you can't.
Let's talk to Lance Armstrong. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I feel kind of bad for that one, but really,
Yeah, that
I
was
don't.
funny. That was
No,
funny. He
that was
deserves
good.
all kinds of
It was
shit.
really good.
But if you have a Ram truck or a Jeep with a faulty nut, you should start getting notified around May 25th if they
Rain before then.
do anything.
Right before the Tour de France.
Oh, and last but not least, our favorite GM. They're recalling the 2019 and 2020 Chevy Bolt EVs for a cable that is too long.
I've never had that complaint before.
You just gotta roll it up, zip tie it if you need to. Uh,
Ow.
What you and Tammy do in your own time is weird.
I was going to make a bad joke there, but I'm just going to leave that one alone. Apparently, the cable can unlatch the rear door if you roll the window down.
That's terrifying.
There goes Timmy.
So you put your friend in the back, it's like, oh, I need some fresh air. Roll the window down, kick him out. Ah, this is much nicer
Not that
now.
much fresh air.
Apparently, it's only about 900 of the Bolt EVs. That's a very weird and interesting issue. But starting May 11th, GM should be replacing the too long cable with a not too long cable.
Seems logical.
So funniness of the recalls aside, some seriousness and how Musk and Tesla aren't really doing what they said they were going to do. So turns out that the ventilators that old Muskie was supposed to be making, he ain't making. He's buying them from China. And apparently they are not quality enough to go into the hospitals. So basically you'd be giving ventilators to people and they wouldn't work. So that's great. And also he hasn't given any of them out. So even if the whole idea of one is better than none, they still haven't gotten any, so it doesn't matter.
Is he just buying like bulk ventilators off Wish or something?
Pretty much.
For once, I don't have a joke. That's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like whatever, man. Apparently, if you want to make sure that we're not bullshitting you, it's an article was put out by the Sacramento Bee talking about it, and apparently some other stuff from the Financial Times discloses the cost of everything. So there are sources out there. It's not just Beers and Boost bullshitting you. So, old Muskie,
Which we do a lot
come
of
on, man, you're
bullshitting,
supposed to
but
help. Yeah.
not on
We are-
actual
we're all
facts.
listening. Yeah, he was supposed to help out. Didn't happen. So fucking fantastic. People who are helping out though, Mazda. I don't know if you guys heard this yet or not, but Mazda is saying if you are a medical worker, come on down. We'll clean your car and we'll do your oil change for free. So apparently they're doing what is called, let's see if I can find the quote correct here. Essential Car Care Initiative is what it's called. They'll provide free oil changes for any medical workers and as well as cleaning up the car. But they're not limiting it to Mazda. It can be any manufacturer coming on. We'll do it for free. So
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, go Mazda.
yeah. That's what car manufacturers should be doing. Not saying we'll get you a ventilator and then do nothing about it.
Hmm.
So.
They're like, oil costs nothing. Let's do this.
I mean, sure, yeah. It is
Yeah.
super cheap right now.
Yeah, I mean, when they buy 55-gallon drums, it does not cost them that much to do an oil change. Not at all.
So speaking of money and all kinds of stuff, if you happen to have any money now, most of us don't at the moment, as so much of America is laid off right now and other countries. But if you happen to have some money left over after all this is over, and you want an iconic car from 1929, Bentley has you covered
Okay.
with the 1929. Let me find the name of it here. My notes are completely askew. Blower.
Bentley. Say that again.
Bentley Blower. I've actually never heard of this, but apparently it's one of their most famous race cars.
I read that as bowler, and I was confused. It's actually the blower.
Yeah. Let me do a little Control C here for you guys.
Maybe it's Blower.
It might be. But it is spelled blower, and that is the car. Okay. I was just thinking bowler, like bowler hat, like, okay, we're a British company, we have a little bowler. Nope, it's blower. Or blower.
I'm in. How much?
My guess, probably over 2 mil.
Again, I'm in.
I'll take two.
Apparently, their engineers been working really hard to get all of the CAD designs up and going for all of the pieces, which supposedly there's only about 600 pieces to this car. I mean, it's a car from 1929, so that wouldn't surprise me. But if you're in the mood for a really old Bentley, you can have one soon.
Most
If you-
engines, just engines nowadays, probably have more than 600 pieces.
Yeah.
Just makes me think about the first James May Top Gear episode where he was like, "You can afford a Bentley. You're not going to like it."
Yeah. That was his Bentley that he couldn't park in his garage in London.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch those old episodes. It's been too
They're
long.
good. Speaking of expensive things as well, apparently GM thinks that, nobody's being affected, especially them. They have now raised the price of the 2021 Cadillac Escalade by another $1,000. So if you want to get a Cadillac Escalade, the base model is now going to cost you $76,000, with the top of the line model.
No.
Cost...
Stop it. Stop it. Just no. Moving on.
Top of the line model, $102,000.
You know what you could buy with 100? You could buy a house.
Hang on. Hear me out here. Hear me out.
With a better engine.
Yeah.
You could buy two C8s.
Yeah.
So, okay, hang on. Chevy came out and said, okay, here's the C8. It's 60 grand. One of the best supercars out there today. Like, bar none. Like, people are loving it. It's an amazing car. If Chevy sells you anything more than $50,000 and it's not a C8, you're throwing your money out the window. Like, it's pointless. Like, buying anything made from Chevy that costs more than $60,000 is stupid. If they're going to give you one of the best cars of at least the start of this decade, maybe the past 20 years, and charge you more, oh, no.
What is
Get
it?
out.
What is $102,000 getting me? Like, what is in this car that makes it worth supercar money?
Drive luxury version.
Fuck that. Oh, Zach's done.
Next done.
He's done.
Storming out. Thanks, Chevy.
Look what you've done to this family.
It's weird to know that Zach and I were in the same pants. That's weird.
What?
I saw you walk away. I know we're wearing the same pants.
Did you get it from Woot or Amazon?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so back to Mazda for a second. I forgot to mention this, and because my notes are all kind of out of whack today. If you live in the UK, Mazda is doing something as well. If you need a repair or you want to get a quote on repair for your car, you can now do it for free by sending them images. Take a picture of your car, go onto their website, and request a quote, and they can tell you how much it's going to cost to get that dent replaced or dent fixed or bumper repaired or whatnot, all for free.
I don't want to replace the dent. I want to fix the dent.
Yes. I was thinking replace bumper, fix dent, same time.
I got it.
Mouth tungle.
Tungle.
Tungle. Tangle. Tongue tangle. Tungle.
No, it checks out. It checks out. You're good.
What are you drinking, Barry?
It's just some water.
Uh-huh. That
Slash
is
vodka.
straight
Just
Pinnacle.
water.
I keep smiling as much as possible, hoping that I disconnect from the internet, and then it's just
Freeze over
like
again.
5 minutes of me going,
I was very happy with that slow scroll.
It's good.
Uh,
So yeah, that's the end of the news for this week. There's not really much because the car world's dead. So what I've got next set up is pretty much just rumors. So you guys want to talk about some rumors?
into
Sure.
the rumor mill.
the Fleetwood Mac album? Yes, let's do this.
Okay.
No, no one. All right.
I'm out. I'm not a huge Fleetwood Mac fan.
I'll do a couple songs.
Anyway, let's start it out with Porsche.
Okay.
Porsche is rumored to be making a successor finally to the 918, and they're going to call it the 918 Spider.
So it doesn't have a roof?
Actually, if you look at the images, of which I'll shoot over to you, Nathan, it has a roof just fine.
That's weird.
There's one.
So it has a roof. Does it have 8 wheels?
Might. No, I don't know. But only thing we know about it is this is possibly the name of it, and they have now put a patent out on this image. So at some point, we'll see a successor for the 918.
Is this a wide-eyed Lambo? Just asking.
Maybe.
So
It reminds me of the back hip haunches of a Diablo.
Kinda. So, a Spider, Spyder, a roadster,
Uh-huh.
is an open two-seat car with emphasis on sporting appearance or character, initially an American term for a two-seater car with no weather protection. Usage has spread internationally and has evolved to include two-seat convertibles. They've got the two-seat part.
This has a roof.
So it's not actually a spider. They're just calling it a spider.
Yeah.
I love this, but this is very, this is not Porsche. This is gaining on a Ferrari, Lambo.
Yeah. Now,
Even, I don't know. I don't know. This is Italian.
Yeah.
it is very much. This looks like an Italian supercar or hypercar. I will. Now that I'm thinking about it, the Spider from Porsche, it makes sense because we have the Turbo EV from Porsche. So they don't have a dictionary and
Turbo
don't know what
for
words
everything.
mean.
Yeah.
Makes
Well,
sense.
that's funny. Actually, when I was reading up some news this week, I saw Jalopnik put an article up about the Taycan, sorry, 4S, and they were making a joke about how the 4S is ready to buy, but yet you could save some money because it's cheaper than the Turbo. Parentheses doesn't have a turbo, or a Turbo S, even more cheaper than a Turbo S. Parentheses still no turbo. And I was like, yeah. There's no turbos on any of these. They're fucking EVs. But it's Porsche.
Yep. Proof they
But
don't know
we have
language.
to say a fucking EV better than a fucking hybrid. That's the.
Yes.
That one hasn't been on the show in a little while. Nice job. Nice job.
Yeah.
Always busting out the old memes.
Yeah. So the next one I want to talk about is thanks to a guy on Instagram. I assume it's a guy. It's probably a company. I have no idea. But it's called Kurdistan_automotive_blog on Instagram. We have a leaked image of the next generation of Rogue.
Did you
Zach?
just assume their gender?
Yes. Also, guys to me
Fair
is well, guys to me is gender neutral. Like I use the word guys as it's everybody.
Yeah.
So, that may
I
be
actually
wrong, but
I have seen this from a few different people, and I've seen some camouflaged rogues that look pretty similar to this. So I think this is fairly accurate as to what it may actually look like. And it's not bad. It's just it's a Nissan
Yeah, it's not
SUV.
horrible. Looks like a Nissan.
Yeah, it's got the V-Motion grille. It's an SUV.
it reminds me of a Murano,
Kind of.
just less circular.
Mm-hmm. A little smaller.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean that's something. Two more rumors. Mazda is looking at 2023. Back to Mazda. Mazda seems to be doing a lot of stuff lately. Or maybe they're the only ones that are actually still working. Don't know. But Mazda is looking at bringing out a new generation of the Mazda 6 in 2023, and the rumors are it'll be rear-wheel drive, and it'll possibly have an updated version of the Skyactiv X motor and a turbo on it. Competition for the Germans?
I'm down.
Yeah.
I love them. I love Mazdas.
They've been doing really well, and obviously we've been talking about them for 2 or 3 weeks now, trying to do stuff and progress the art of automotive. So, I mean, that could be a great car. We've seen their turbo motors before. They can make power out of a turbo motor.
Yeah.
So that could easily be an M3 killer. Mazda Speed 6 coming back. Mm-hmm.
That's my thoughts. Maybe the speed comes back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Zach, you bringing up M3 Killer makes me think like what BMW needs is for someone to just blow their shit out of the water. Like where they have to just do something completely new.
They may not have always been the best recently, but they've always been very competitive. They need some, kind of like you said, they need Hyundai to come in with the N division and just be like, now here's a $35,000 sedan. Oh yeah, it's a whole second faster on the quarter mile than you. Has more
Yeah,
amenities.
nothing beats. Okay, now you suck. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Now you're overpriced crap. Maybe it's time
Yeah,
for a
your
change.
Your whole performance idea just got beat out by a Korean company.
Mhm.
What
Yeah,
now, son?
which is why it's why I'm looking forward to what Nissan's gonna do because they suck now, right, Zach?
Second walkout? I think second walkout, yeah.
Second walkout.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good, Nathan. That was good. So last rumor of the rumor mill this week is Hennessy. So maybe not everybody's heard about this car, and let me send a picture over to you, Nathan. But apparently they've been working on this for about 6 years, and it's called the Hennessy Venom F5. Now it is a hypercar of all hypercars.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Reminds me, what was it? Was it the Saline Raptor?
S7.
No, not the S7. The other one. Saline Raptor. It reminds me of the Saline Raptor. It was their concept they built to like move along with the S7, and then they never really did anything with it.
Gotcha. Well, this Hennessy is maybe a hint at some future ZCC action because it is 2020 and supposedly this is a new decade, but supposedly the first deliveries of these will happen this year. Now, don't know if that's actually going to happen because of COVID and all that, but this car will do, according to Hennessy, 311 miles an hour. It has a 6.6 liter twin turbo V8 that produces 1,817 horsepower and 1,193 foot-pounds of torque.
nah, I'm good.
Those are all very big
I
numbers.
don't need that.
I
I shit myself enough as a kid.
I'd be curious if they can actually hit those numbers, because if they can do 311, we've talked about Koenigsegg with the Jesko, and that's their, like, this is the fastest car ever. We're not going to prove it to you until someone comes along. If this comes out...
they can't. Bugatti won't let them.
True.
There's no other track for them to test on. But what was the Jesko saying they would do, 318?
Something like that. Something ridiculous.
I mean, we've got true competitions for fastest cars by a long shot.
So if this thing comes at Koenigsegg, then Koenigsegg's going to have to pull out the Jesko, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. We as consumers and watchers get, like, major wins here.
Yeah.
So.
Bugatti's just gonna like nuke their plants. It's just never gonna happen.
The fastest
never
thing we've
finished.
ever created, an explosive shockwave.
I mean, what's the speed of sound?
Pretty freaking high.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact numbers on it, but
It's like 700 something.
343 meters per second, or 776 miles per hour.
Pretty good, Nathan.
Thank you. I've watched Top Gun a lot.
Okay, well, that's the end of news and rumor mill. You guys got some segments?
Zach, you're gonna do next week?
I'm going to do next week. I think since the news has been a little bit more sparse, maybe we should start kind of rotating through segments. So I've got one queued up. We hinted at it last week. You probably know what it is. While doing some research, it's a bit more interesting than I thought it was. So it should be a good segment once we get to it, but you'll have to wait.
Okay, I have a brief left field. Do you have a Why Are You So Stupid, Barry?
No. I can't leave the house, so like, there's no stupidity that I see other than myself,
okay.
which is stupid all the time.
So we have a full episode is what you're saying.
Yes.
So I do have a left field. It's a very brief left field. And I have to say, we all are in love with the C8 and everything that we've heard about it. That's our dream car. Can I recommend a new dream car that will never come out?
Sure.
Okay.
They were going to make a Holden 4-door with the same setup before Holden went away.
Huh. A mid-engine supercar 4-door.
I read an article this week saying that basically, yes, they were going to take the exact same tech, engine, everything from the current C8 and make a Holden, basically a Pontiac G8 out of it.
Oh man. That would have been amazing.
It both made me incredibly excited because it can still happen. Like, someone can still, like, Frankenstein this thing, but the fact that it's not an actual thing because Holden went under, like, it just made me both depressed and like, wow, this could still happen. Very excited.
Oh man. Just thinking back on the G8s, I really liked the G8s. They were awesome. You dropped an LS2, or they had the LS3s in them, I think, but a sedan with a 5.7 liter V8 in it. Oh man. Zach just saw something.
Yeah, it's another Holden. I was trying to find like Holden C8, and it's a. I guess I can put it in the Discord. It's a just kind of nutso Holden thing.
Yep, that's the mid-engine version. They were going to try and do a front-engine version, but this, what Zach just linked us, which you can find online, is the mid-engine Holden R8, basically.
Interesting. Huh.
I kind of want it.
Well, they definitely didn't finish it, but it looks just like their Ute with a Cadillac on the front.
It is their Ute. They put the engine in the back and covered it.
This right here, if they were able to make it front engine and make all of the same things happen with it, is my dream car.
It would have been,
Because I want my dream car to be a sedan. I want it to be 4-door. I want people to be able to ride with me. I don't know if I'm alone in that one, but
The Jesco.
the Gamera.
Gamera, sorry. Gamera. It's not 4-door, it's one, like, boat-long door, and then there's 4 seats in it. It also has way too much power. Like, it's stupid powerful.
It's only a 3-cylinder. It's fine. Don't mind the other 3 electric motors.
yeah.
We're getting the propulsion devices.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so we really are missing out with the fact that Holden has kind of gone under. They're not doing anything new. I think their name who purchased their name? Is it still under GM?
It might be. When I was looking for that, I did see some stuff that Holden will be making the right-hand drive C8s to sell in like Australia and stuff. I'll have to find that article again. So
Okay, so they're still doing new things. Well, not new things, but things under the Holden name. But they're not doing new things under the Holden name. And the Monaro was just the legend of the aughts in terms of just drifting, four-door, stupid car. And I love a good stupid car.
the Maloos were pretty ridiculous.
Well, it just shows you that when you get the American Pontiac and then you give the technology to somebody else who isn't an American, what they can do with it. Like 90% of the car is the exact same thing as the Pontiac version, but it was just the little bit of Australian that was put into it. Made it different.
They
Made a
like
lot
their
of difference.
burnouts. They like their power.
Anyway, that was my left field. I saw that this week and I was just like, I gotta share it. It's gotta happen.
So
Happy to see it. Hear about it.
I guess maybe this counts as a left field for me. I don't know. We've talked a couple times where we've brought up a car and then suddenly it's appeared in media a few days later. The Desire. I forgot to send you this on Reddit. Literally 3 days after that episode went up, Reddit was all over the Desire. And
Of course.
literally while I was doing research on my fastest of the decade, 2 hours before I was doing my research, 3 sites posted articles about the car. Like, what the fuck? How does this happen?
We're trendsetters. We're groundbreakers.
I guess so.
We're thought leaders. Is what we are.
With our 5 viewers.
Sure, it's fine. It's fine.
We love you all. Just so you know.
A whole 15 of you. Actually, I think we gained 2 more. We're hanging out around the 17 more, most of our stuff now. So thank you guys to your new listeners. And I guess that's pretty much it for the Cars episode.
I think so. Pretty light this week.
Yeah. Whole world's kind of shifted. So let's keep it a little short and sweet, I guess. But if you are new to this episode, new to this podcast, I just mentioned, we go up on Tuesdays with cars. We go up on Thursdays with beers. This week we're going to hit back into our World War beer. Maybe the last of our Americans.
Maybe.
We'll see. We'll do a little more research there. Yeah, hit us up on Twitter at Beers and Boost, Instagram beersandboost_pod, YouTube. You know where to get us at, and listen to wherever you like podcasts at. That's what we're here for. Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Have a good midweek.
I love the long, awkward pauses. I just love leaving them in.